Hey guys, Tay Beeves here. I haven't made a video game video in a long time, so I kind of wanted to make one about Last Epoch and where it's at. So, right here from the character screen, let's create a new character. The thing about Last Epoch is that it is in beta. However, it's a very polished game systems wise. Even though we're in beta, there's no like game breaking bugs that I've come across. There's might be a missing texture or something really detail oriented every once in a while, but the systems it's themselves in this game are very well done. The skill trees haven't had any problems with skills or anything like that. The crafting system is awesome. So basically, this game has a tremendous amount of polish, and I don't really want to harp on Wolcen. I really enjoyed Wolcen. However, you have to admit it was a super buggy launch. People couldn't play online. Um, I don't know. There were nodes and things that were just completely broken, didn't work. You couldn't really swap items in your inventory without it being like a 3 or 4 try. You couldn't just move items very quickly. One of the first things I noticed in this game when I got multiple stash tabs, how quickly I was just putting my items in there and moving stuff around. It's just the fact that it just worked right off the bat. I don't know, so smoothly. It was refreshing. But so in saying that, all of the game systems and everything, like I said, have worked really well. I'm really enjoying the way that this game's playing. Um, and you do have some options like hardcore, a solo character. Basically, a solo character is this character's inventory or chest in town is only for this character, which is interesting. But apparently, you can just change that in the settings later on as well. If you decide you want to have the shared inventory or stash, you can just take that off. So I don't think that really matters. Hardcore, I believe PoE was this where your hardcore character dies, they actually go to a regular non-hardcore character. So you don't completely lose the character forever, but the penalty is your hardcore stash and things like that are no longer accessible by that character. So a little bit of penalty, but nothing too crazy. So one of the big things about this game in beta right now is there's no dual wielding. You see this Beastmaster, he's got 2 axes. I thought I'd have a bunch of wolves and I'd be just crazy hacking at stuff. Couldn't do that. I was a little disappointed, but hey, it's beta. Dual wielding is not in the game. There's an entire character class that's missing. I believe it's a ranger slash rogue type. I could be wrong. I really haven't done that much research on it. But it there's no dual wielding and there are no bows in the game, bows, crossbows, anything like that. So there's not really a ranged weapon besides like casting type weapons, um, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's some major things missing, but systematically, this game has a lot of polish, and I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna enter on my Beastmaster here. You do have some Diablo 2-esque inventory Tetris. Um, I mean, which is fine. It's the quality of it. It doesn't really bug me. You have a sort items here, so if you do get a crazy inventory, you just sort it. You can usually pick a few more things up. If you remember the inventory Tetris game of Charms in Diablo 2, they kind of solved that by giving your own. In this game, they're called idols, but you have your own idle inventory. You still have to play a little bit of Tetris here, which it just adds a little extra element of strategy and what idols you want. They're all different sizes. There are some character specific idols, and you unlock idle space in your inventory as you progress through the story. So if we look at my stash here, I've got all these idols. I think I've kept all of the ones that I found for some reason. I don't know. But hoarding stuff is fine because the stash in this is awesome. So it's very customizable. So I have my general right now, which is just random crap. And then I have a unique where I've been keeping my uniques that I found so far. And uniques in this game are very unique. They actually have an impact on your character and they improve the game in a meaningful way without being overpowering. Um, There are, so far in the game, there are uniques that you're striving to get. There's a helm and an amulet that I've been trying to get on my character this whole time. Haven't found them yet. That's fine. For being a level 60 character, compared to other games, I really haven't found that many uniques yet. Set items as well. I've found, I think, 2 set items. So they're both on my mage right now. And they're both the same set ring, but they don't count towards the set bonus, if that makes sense. Since it's the same ring, I don't know if that's a bug or going to be fixed or what. But let's look at, so something like my boots, you and your minions have 20% increased attack speed or movement speed, which is good because I have my minions. Healing effectiveness. Every second you are moving, you have 20 chance to cast Summon Vine or Entangling Root. As you see me run around, you might see a little something pop up. Yeah, my little attacking poisonous vine. But this is one of the few games I'm really enjoying this summoner class. I've got multiple wolves. I've got scorpion, bear. There's also a raptor. Some As you progress through your skill trees, you can unlock more companions and things like that. So with your passive skill tree, there are 4. There's going to be your base class skill tree, and then you're going to have a specialization tree, which for mine is Beastmaster. You can see I have this whole giant option. If I had gone into Shaman, you could see I would have all these skills. The kind of interesting thing is you can actually still spec into other trees, just they kind of limit how far into that tree you can go if you don't master into it. So right now I actually have some Druid passives to unlock this Entangling Roots, as opposed to my Beastmaster where I'm fully locked up and I've unlocked this Flanking Strike, which I haven't played with yet. But we'll take a quick look at the crafting system, just because it's all about rolling affixes, and they do it in a very interesting way. So it even gives meaning to your base white items that have no skills, because you can then turn them into exactly what you want. So say on this two-handed, I wanted to make sure I had health on melee. So 100% chance for success will add 5 crafting instability. Instability is kind of the price you pay for making an item better and better and better. The more you buff it up, the higher chance you get to break it and it'll start fracturing. So screw it. Let's, I only have 7 of those. Let's say I really want Void Protection. So I'll forge that. Boom, I've got tier 1 Void Protection now. 102 Void Protection. We're going to hold down Alt to see how well that rolled. 102 out of 57 to 135. So that's a pretty good roll, but I need more Void Protection than that. So what I'm going to do, I have a 90% chance for success, still pretty high. Let's reforge that, kick it up to tier 2. Now I've got 173. So pretty cool. Not good enough for me. Now we have an 80% chance for success. Let's bump it up again. Doing pretty good. And now that we're at tier 3, we've done it 3 times. So depending on, I could have done 3 different affixes, and I believe the next one would still be at 70% chance. It's not just the one specific. Like now, if I wanted to go to poison protection, it looks like I have an 85% chance. So maybe it is, depending on the tier a little bit. But let's add poison protection. We got 85. So now we got void protection and poison protection. If those were the 2 stats I wanted, holy crap, I just made the best weapon in the game. It's not really. But, so now we go back to void protection. 65 chance for success. And now we can add support items. So say we still wanted to buff it up, but we didn't really want to damage the weapon. Now that I throw a Glyph of the Guardian in there, it's going to modify the outcome of the crafting, and I've still got a 90% chance for success. So let's try that. Boom. Now we got 511 void protection. That's insane. No void will ever hurt me. That's probably a lie. But then there's a glyph of stability as well. I haven't played too much with the crafting system, but if that gives you kind of a sense of how it works, you have suffixes and prefixes. And so basically, what I'm trying to say is if you found this yellow that had 48 minion health and chance to find potions, if those were the two best stats or for my character or whatever, they haven't been buffed yet. So if they were both tier 3, I could then buff them up more and I'd have a sweet weapon. So that's kind of why finding a rare item with the stats you want is really good. However, if you find an item without the stats that you want, there are items to remove the stats and then thus put your own on, or you can re-roll them to see if you get better rolls. And that's how the crafting system works. And at first I was a little off-put. I'm not making swords or anything crazy like that for myself. But the affix and prefix system, or affix system, is pretty sweet. So, and then there's gambling in game. It's very reasonable. So what I like to do is look for a specific item type. Like if I was looking for a lupine helmet, there isn't one in there for me to gamble on. But you can also
Gold won't save you.
refresh him with a little gold. Like, hey buddy, what else you got? Hey, there's a lupine helmet. Let's roll it. I got a rare one.
Excellent choice.
So. You can get uniques and set items that way. That is why every time I go back to town, I roll on my lupine helmet to try and get my unique item. But in saying that, the story in the game, it's decent. It's not the best, most compelling story I've ever heard. However, it is a far better story than Path of Exile, in my opinion, but not as engaging as Wolcen. Wolcen, you kind of had your little cutscenes and things, and I don't know. The story in Wolcen wasn't the best either, but it was more like, Diablo Blizzard type storytelling where you got these pretty cool cutscenes to move the story along. No cutscenes or anything like that in this. Well, I guess there's some animated cutscenes, storytelling pictures at certain points. The character classes do have a little bit of their own background that you get at the start. Like I said, this game has a lot of polish. It's not very buggy. Everything that's worked has worked very well. Your monolith, you kind of get these random modifiers for your random generated dungeon diving, which seems to be the standard in these type of games these days. Like I said, the stash works very well, and you can modify the crap out of it, organize the crap out of it, I should say. And it looks pretty good. It's not the craziest graphics in the whole world, but they're not bad either. And depending on, your computer, obviously. And I've been rambling on for way too long already, but I hope it gives you a sense of what Last Epoch is. And at launch, I believe it's going to only be $15, so buy it. If you're into ARPGs, this is going to be one of those games that you're just going to have to buy it and play it. Because it's pretty good, pretty intricate. I think in beta, it's actually $35 because you get the game, you get some cosmetic stuff. Let's see if I remember how to bring that up. Which is cool. That was one of the things I really enjoyed about Path of Exile was just supporting the game by getting, glowing wings and stuff that made me look cool. So now I got a little pet dude that'll follow me around. And I'm excited to see the cosmetic shop when it launches, I guess. But I guess also if you buy the game now, you get like the soundtrack, which it's not bad music, but it's not the best in-game music I've ever heard. Yeah, if you watched this whole video, thank you.